Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our channel and also watching this video. Today, Sandra will be making a Dr. Bird, which is a hummingbird with long tail feathers that's found in the Caribbean. We're putting a little twist to our Dr. Birds. It won't be the traditional colors. This one will be purple with some dichroic in the tail and the body. And if you guys aren't familiar with dichroic glass, Sandra will explain to you exactly what that is.
I will do so. Okay, so welcome. We decided to give you a little demo in between our Sunday missions. And as Kim already said, we are doing a Dr. Bird today. It's gonna be a purple one, so I decided on the purple dichroic as a start, of course. And it's black usually on one side, and the other side is coated in purple dichroic. That's a metal that's on the surface, and it's really a thin layer only. So the rest of the material is black. And this is what we will use for the body and also for the tails. So let's cut this off. So I need 3 pieces about the same size. There's something in there. I think I'm gonna cut this out. There's something. You see that there is a dot of some sorts in there. Not sure what that is.
Well, we definitely don't want that in the bird.
Yeah, it doesn't really necessarily hurt, but it might look strange, or it's just, I don't know. I don't want to risk it.
Right.
Can you turn that off?
Yeah. So it's a little chilly here today in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Even though it's May 5th, it's still isn't quite.
Thank you.
Spring,
Otherwise,
spring.
our guests will not understand a single thing.
Yeah, had to turn the heater off. It gets pretty loud. It roars like a lion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe I should use that because that has an edge of some sorts too, but you won't see it in the end. Okay, so we are starting with the body in this case. I think we always start with the body. But then it goes to the tail. And it's the same here, it's just that the preparation in itself does take a bit longer than usually, because it's just that you have to cover the dichroic and you have to make sure it's ready to work with before you start with the whole shaping
Right.
itself. I'm gonna need this one over here too. See, this is an example. Like last time when we had a live stream, I explained that this is actually a marble mold, but I'm using it as a tool as well, as a
flattener. Yeah.
And so this is what I'm using that tool for actually, because it makes it a bit higher here.
Okay.
Than when you would use just a graphite plate.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when it's a bit elevated here. So now I have to reheat it with a regular flame from the black side. And just be careful with the purple side with the dichroic on, because it tends to burn away quite easily.
Okay. And as you guys can see, Sandra just folded the dichroic. That way the black side does not show within the bird once it's made.
Yeah. We don't want the black to be seen. It should just be purple. And then you always have these black sides still. And that is something that I'm gonna do next, because I found a technique that works for me quite well. So what I do is I heat up the edge, When I squeeze it, that makes it come together.
Ah.
And then I just grab that black and I pull it off.
So you kind of sandwich it more and then
Yeah. And then
scrape
it's
the
gone.
black side off.
The black is gone.
Okay, cool.
This is what I do there.
And I guess you found that out through trial and error.
Yeah, well, I just didn't like the black on the edges, and I wanted that to be gone. So I thought, well, what's the easiest way to get rid of that? Pull it off. Yeah. How? Okay. But this is what I came up with. That's really my own way of doing things.
Right. So Sandra
Put
just
that
took
on.
a piece of clear glass off of the preheater, and the clear glass will now coat the dichroic.
Exactly. It's gonna come on top. And I usually go slow with that as well, because I want to avoid any air traps in there, which would tend to, it's more likely that it will break. It doesn't necessarily have to, but it's more likely.
Yeah, the air traps can cause little bubbles in there.
Yeah. So smaller air traps are still okay if there are not so many, but bigger ones definitely is a no. So this is the first stage, and then I'm adding a bit more clear, because it's not, that is not enough yet for that body that we want to do.
So soon it's gonna look like a big blob, guys. But I promise you,
Looks like
yeah.
Nah, it's not such a big blob. Yeah,
But I promise you, it'll turn out beautifully.
I think so.
Stay tuned and see.
I still remember Bill being here once, a good friend of ours being here once, and he never saw me doing a Dr. Bird before. And he was standing in front of my table talking to Thomas, and he saw me start a bird, and then they talked, and he turned around and said, "Wasn't that just a big blob before I looked last time?"
Well, that's the magic in your hands.
Yeah. So I have to turn it around because I want to have the whole body shaped already as I need it. And for that I have to close the other side, which is kind of weird looking right now. I just want it nice and smooth.
So Sandra will now take the tweezers and pull pieces off. And what are those pieces that you're pulling off?
That's just that it does look nice at the end.
Okay.
It's just
That
there's
is
also
smooth.
black on there. There is a bit of that handle that I had was on there. So it's just that I don't have any discolorations in there really.
Well, you guys.
We just go on.
So Sandra's twirling it around in the flame, heating it up, making it more oval. It'll be like more oval.
Well,
shape, right?
yeah, it's an oval shape, yeah, and it's a bit longer on the end because I want to attach the dichroic in this area. So it has this, it's that wide, so it goes on here and on the other side.
Okay.
This is why it's a bit longer in at the end. So I have to put that on the preheater so it stays nice and cozy.
This preheater is very helpful, isn't it?
It is. And you need a lot of spots on there where you can put things on. So I need purple. Where's the purple? There's purple. No, that's the light one. I want to have the darker one. this one.
We have quite a few different shades of purple.
Yeah, I do have two. I thought of doing the wings with the lighter shade, with the bluish, and the attachments on the dichroic on the tail with the darker one, because then it shows more.
So the green piece of glass that you guys see here in Sandra's left hand is a handle.
That's just to hold it here.
Right, just to hold the glass.
Yeah, we have these little bit older thin rods, and we can't really use it for anything else, so I don't want to throw anything away that's just a waste. So I'm using it in some way, and I need thin handles for a lot of these things, like when you work with dichroic or when you do smaller pieces. It makes a lot of sense, and so yeah, green doesn't matter.
No.
I remember in my apprenticeship that we used to have clear ones, and it really was odd afterwards to have a colored handle. It was just, it felt odd. It felt wrong. It felt wrong almost. But then at some point you get used to just use what you don't
available.
need. Yeah.
Again, Sandra has folded the dichroic in half, and she's going to sandwich it.
Yeah, that's the first piece for the tail.
And this is to ensure that the dichroic shows on both sides of the tail.
Exactly. So instead of pulling it off like we did in the body, in this case we just put a stripe of the purple on the sides, which covers the black wood, kind of does the same trick. There you are.
If you guys are enjoying this video, please make sure you like the video and also subscribe to our page, to our channel, so you'll be able to see all of our demonstrations and the new creations that we'll be coming up with, as well as some oldies but goodies.
So put it on the preheater and check that the flame is right over it, because otherwise we will not get to use it. It will just fall apart.
Don't want that.
No. So this is the second piece.
For the second tail feather.
Yep. Once we are done with them both, then we really can start working the piece.
How long have you been working with dichroic?
Oh, dichroic, I think since 2015, 2016. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's like 5
Yeah, we
years.
work with this. Well, we get our dichroic glass from this company on the West Coast.
Exactly.
Called France Art Glass.
Yeah. And I always set the handle always was on the edge, so I always set it in the middle once I have folded it, because it just when I would leave it at the edge, it would pull to the side, like it doesn't go smooth. It's just, it goes crooked.
It would be uneven.
Yeah, it will be uneven. It goes crooked. And I don't want that, so.
We're looking to be as precise as possible.
I had that problem, and I don't want it. And this has moved a bit, but it's just the handle.
So that is the body right
That
now
is the
in
body.
Sandra's left hand.
That is the body, exactly, and this is what we are attaching.
And her right hand that will become one of the tail feathers.
Exactly. So now, right now, I have to reheat the whole body to that it really has a nice glow again. That just ensures that it doesn't fall apart while I'm working on the tail feathers. And I have to reheat it a few times in the working process with the tail feather. It's just that's what makes it difficult to really know when to heat it up and to make sure that it stays hot. So now comes the part that I meant with pulling it when it was on the edge instead of the middle, like with me. It still might pull a bit to the side, but yeah, it works. It works. It looks fine.
So check this.
I don't know. Is it perfect?
It's always perfect.
So I give the body a bit of heat again.
And here comes the next tail feather.
And the next tail feather is getting hot as well. And then I'm going on there, the other side. I'll try to make sure there are no sharp edges. And then I can heat up the second half for the tail feather as it comes. Then I always have to test if it comes already. Yeah, it does. And then I can really pull.
Wow, did you guys just see that? Did you see that? You can see it coming to life.
But it's more just that the glass is life.
Of course.
So I want to attach a few dots on the side.
Okay.
To the tips on the side where we put the handle on. But I have to get a bit more heat back in the other tail feather in particular that we attached first. Okay, that's on too. Now the body gets a bit of heat again. Just needs to glow a bit because we will heat up a bit more once the handle is on. Okay. So next step is really straightening out of the body. It looks like it's a bit to the right, I think. It's not exactly in the middle, in the center. So
Okay.
I have to, see, I moved it a bit. And then
Okay.
it's, yeah.
The
that's
glass is still very vulnerable. This is hot.
Yeah. And I'm taking off the front. and get the rest of the handle glass off. And then we can attach the head.
How long have you been working with glass, Sandra?
I think it's 27
years,
now.
yeah.
I think.
So for those of you guys who are just starting out or have been working with glass for a while, doing lamp work, just know that if you keep at it and you stay passionate, practice, and stay passionate about your skill and your work and your ideas, you will definitely become very successful. Of course, it doesn't happen overnight, like nothing good.
No. In that job, you have to have endurance and the will to really get good and become good and to even improve yourself.
Yeah, and always stay critical of yourself.
Yeah.
And accept good criticism, accept feedback.
Yeah. What I notice is that when you start working in a job, you have certain companies where you can work for and you can learn from them. But at some point, you realize that you have become that far in that job that you want to do your own stuff and you want to do your own ideas.
You want to be an artist.
Yeah, you want to be an artist. You want to improve yourself, and these people that you work with can only teach you so far. So this is the step that you have to do in the end to really get good.
Yeah,
really
and develop
more than just a good lamp worker, just a good artist as well.
Develop that artistic freedom.
Yeah.
Because it is super important, because you will have so many ideas floating around in your head. You may even dream of them, of course, like most artists do. And you're going to want to get that out. It's like anyone in working in art, no matter what the form is, they're going to need to express that, release that somehow. As you guys can see, the head and the beak has already been formed.
Yep. While we talked about about being an artist.
Now Sandra is attaching the wings.
Yeah, the inner part for the wings. Gets a hook as well. It will hang.
We haven't given the purple dichroic hummingbird a name yet.
No, doesn't have a name.
What do you think of Lila?
Why not?
She looks like a Lila.
I think wasn't the first one that I made a purple one?
I think so.
Of these,
I think so. It was a purple with purple dichroic, or maybe with rainbow dichroic, and then there was like an opaque aqua with rainbow dichroic.
I think the very first one was purple.
Yeah. Sandra's very partial to purples and blues and greens.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a more red person. I don't know whether it has anything to do with my sign, because I'm Aries. So Aries are very fiery, and I love red. Love very strong, intense colors. You're a very cool person. You're very calm, and those are very cool and calm colors that you like.
Yeah, I always like green. But I definitely also like you're right, the aqua green purple combinations. I definitely like that.
You couldn't see what was going on the other side of that plane, and then you pulled it out, and there was a wing.
There's a wing. Yeah,
while we're talking once again.
Yeah. But I have to really, and on these birds, I really have to be fast on the wings. Otherwise, it's just I don't have time to waste, because when I'm too late in going back to the body, it just falls apart.
Oh gosh.
It's, as I said, it's a bit tricky. That one is really tricky.
And everyone who works with glass knows how heartbreaking that is when you've worked on a piece, especially a big piece, a beautiful big piece, and you're anticipating the end, and then it just cracks or fall apart. And of course, you guys will definitely be able to find Lila on our website, wgkglass.com. Make sure you check it out and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. There you'll also get to see our new creations and what's coming up next for us.
Okay, that's done. And I even fulfilled Thomas's wish of having them bend a bit more to the front.
Nice.
And I also have to, later on, I also have to attach the tips.
It has to cool down first.
It has to cool down first, yeah.
So there's still some process to go.
I can take it off.
With the Dr. Bird, but you guys can pretty much see the completion of it.
And they are still quite tricky. Even for me, they are quite tricky. So not every piece that I do of them really works out in the end. I
Can
still
you hold
have
it up for me, please?
I still have pieces that fall apart sometimes.
Yeah. Guys, definitely check out our website so you can see how it looks completely. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our page, like this video, share it with your family and friends. We appreciate you guys watching and hope you have